Hey guys, today's video is another beauty basics, and like you can tell from the title, we're going to be talking about eyebrows. I have been pumped to film this because if you know me at all, you know that I am obsessed with eyebrows. That is one of the first things I notice about people. I'll like be meeting someone new, shaking their hand like, hi, I'm Jamie. I love your eyebrows, because if you've got good eyebrows, girl, I'm gonna tell you that I appreciate the effort that you are putting in to making them look good. I've spent the last couple years really trying to grow mine out and to get mine to be looking exactly the way I want. Eyebrows are such a personal thing. You can't just watch one tutorial and mimic someone. You have to try out different shapes and colors and really find what fits your face the best. The trend right now is to have pretty bold eyebrows, and I just couldn't create that because my eyebrows were so thin. I was definitely a victim of over plucking. I mean, I think we all could raise our hands and say we needed help with that at some point in our lives. If you lived through the 2000s, that was just the thing to do. And we were all left with these like little tiny eyebrows, and I didn't know how to create these big bold eyebrows that are so trendy right now. Until I found this, the Ardell Lash and Brow Serum. This stuff is amazing. I buy this at Sally's. I think it's like $15 or $16. And I apply this on my eyebrows every night before I go to bed, and it has made my eyebrows grow double. I applied this and it made the biggest difference. So if you have very, very thin eyebrows and you want to help them grow, I suggest trying this. So with this tutorial, I'm not saying that this is the #1 best way that everyone should be doing their eyebrows. It is a very individual, personal thing, how you like your eyebrows. I just wanted to show you how I do mine because people are always asking me what I've got going on my eyebrows, because it is such a big transformation from me without my brows to me with my brows drawn on. It makes everything just look more structured, draws more attention to your eyes. It really is what finishes off your face. So I'm talking to you girls out there that are like, oh, I don't need that. I have tons of clients that tell me, oh, I like my eyebrows the way they are, and I fill them in just a little bit and it makes the biggest difference. So I challenge you, if you're one of those people that don't think you need it, just give it a try. It will change your life. You can thank me later. The product that I'm going to be using is the Anastasia Brow Wiz in Brunette. You can use liners. You can use something like a dip brow with that's more like a gel that you're applying with an angled liner brush, but I suggest to start off with a pencil. This is what's going to help it look most natural and help you have the most control over your brows. So if you want to see how I fill in my eyebrows, then just keep watching. All right, so to start off, I like to do an outline of my brows, starting with the base on the outside tail and then working my way in. The outside tail should be the darkest part of your brow, with the inside being the lightest. So I like to start a line right where my arch begins and just draw straight up and then straight down. A lot of people like to have a more rounded arch. I prefer mine to be a little bit more straight. So once I have that line, I like to do the exact same thing on the top, outline where my natural hairs end up at the top and create a point. I don't have a point up here. My hair gets really sparse. So I just draw it in myself and then work my way down. And that's just gonna give me an outline for where I want to fill in, and so I can make sure the shape is exactly what I want it to be. And then once I have that shape on the outside, I move to the inside and I very lightly will fill in the base of the inside of my brow. And then I will take this and draw the very inside edge. A lot of people like to leave this area bare, but where this side is grown out so far, I have to draw in the edge. So I do the same on this eyebrow to make sure that they match. If you do draw in, you want to make it as natural and light as possible. I like to draw a straight line up and outward at an angle and then connect that top line back in with the line I drew earlier. So that is going to give me the shape of where I want my eyebrow to be. Now I go in and fill everything in. I take a very light hand, and this whole process you want to do short strokes that kind of mimic the lines of your hairs to help everything look more natural. And you just want to fill in the sparse areas. I don't like to fill in the entire brow because that makes it look a little heavy and intense for me. So I just like to fill in all the areas that are extra sparse with those short strokes, and then I take the spoolie and really just blend everything together, and that is what's going to help it look the most natural when you brush this through and just blend everything together. And you're finished. Brows are seriously so easy. The hard part is figuring out exactly what shape you want your eyebrow to be and then getting it to match the other side. We're going to do the same thing. Just draw that straight line up and down, and then outline the top as well. This eyebrow, I don't grow nearly as much hairs on this outside tail as I have over here, so I have to overdraw this point a little bit to get this side to match the other side. Then moving into the inside with a very light hand, I'm going to create that same angle I created over there. This is the hardest part for me because you don't want this to be angled in and this to be angled out, or both of them to be angled in. You want them to be the same and matching, and where I don't have any hair right here in this area, I have to try extra hard to get it to match exactly. Then once you have that line drawn, I like to just connect that line on the top back in with the outline you had already drawn, and that way you have the outline that matches this brow before you start ever filling anything in. And you can see I have a lot of sparse hairs over here. Like I said, it's not nearly as thick as this brow, so I like to just fill all of those in. If you have thick brows, you might be able to skip this step and you just need to sharpen up the edges. Or if you have thin brows like me, it is kind of frustrating to not have any brows, but it actually is kind of a good thing. Look at it on the positive side, because you have the ability to create whatever shaped brow you want. You can customize your arch and how dark you want everything. I actually kind of enjoy not having super thick brows because depending on the day, I can really play up my brows or make them a little bit more thin. It really just gives you the opportunity to customize exactly what you want to be happening up there. So if you don't have thick brows and you're sad about it, think positive. And then of course, just brush everything through to make sure everything's blended out and looking natural. And then go in and fill in that tail one last time to make sure it is as dark as you would like it. On an everyday basis, I would stop here and be done, but if you really have drawn on some heavy brows and want them to be looking really sharp, I suggest taking an angled liner brush with just a little bit of concealer on them, and you can carve out the edges of your brow. You can do this over the top, at both ends. I like to just do it underneath, and it just makes everything look a little bit more sharp and defined and really highlights that brow bone. But again, this step is totally unnecessary. And then to finish everything off, I just brush through one last time to make sure everything is blended out. Putting on your eyebrows is seriously so easy. It's those 3 steps. You do an outline, you fill everything in, you brush it out, and you should be good to go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it gave you a couple of tips and tricks to help your eyebrows look their best. If you're one of those people that are too afraid to try eyebrows, seriously, just give it a try. I promise you, you will love the way it turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for subscribing and sharing my videos. If you haven't subscribed to me yet here on YouTube, please do. Just click the button. It takes 2 seconds, and it would seriously mean so much to me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.